Hello and welcome to this first thoughts of Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 9, The Empress of Mars. I liked it a lot. I really did. It's probably my favourite Mark Gatiss episode for sure. Cold War in second. I love the Ice Warriors really.
Yeah, I do love the Ice Warriors.
I love the setup.
He kind of nails it.
It's really nailed. I still want a two-parter Ice Warrior story in there somewhere where they're just like full-on villains, like just full-on. But I kind of I'd like to think this is actually kind of the start of the timeline for the Ice Warriors in terms of the Paladin stories afterwards come after this story.
Sort of, but where's the original Ice? The original Ice Warrior story takes place after, isn't it?
Yeah, that's in 20th century. Yeah, I think it's 20th.
And where's Seed of Doom? Death.
That's far in the future. That's far in the future.
I remember.
They got teleporters because they go.
So, this is the beginning of our knowledge, but at the same time, of course, there are things before this. So, of course, they talked about how life on Mars. Well, Mars is no longer habitable from the outside.
Yeah.
I really do, partly because of the story and partly just because I've always wanted to see it, but I'd love to see a Mars which is kind of in its full state of glory, what it fully looks like, because we've only seen it as barren.
I think I'd love to see, if they were going to do that, a full-on season finale or something. I mean, they've got 3 costumes now for the Ice Warriors, a 4th for the Ice Queen, and I mean a Warlord. The Warlords. Is it Warlord? What are they called? The Generals.
Ice Lord, I think.
Ice Lord. That's it, Ice Lord. That would be easy to make. It's literally the same design, just with a bit more of a kind of helmet rather than.
Well, no, it's a bit different. So it's more like you got a bit of a cape and a bit more of the kind of domed half head.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see some of those in the new series. Yeah.
I think it would be a good 2-parter. But yeah, no, I loved how this story looked. Loved the characters, the side characters as well. They were all really strong. He had the guts to kill the character. He killed the nice one. I can't remember it. Was it Jackjaw or something? No, it wasn't.
No, Jackjaw was the guy who went and got the crystals off the thing.
Was it Vinci?
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think it's Vinci. Well, they killed Vinci, who was the nice one who was going to get married. They had the balls to kill people, and
well, no, the moment they mentioned the marriage thing, I was like, yeah, they're going to kill him.
Oh no, I was thinking the opposite.
That was just kind of that's the trait that's I've seen it in so many places. Like before they die, they go, oh, yeah, I was going to get married and such.
That is true. Yeah, I
that happens a lot.
But yeah, I kind of liked it because they had a few scenes with him. So it wasn't just that. I mean, the cliche thing came up, but
it wasn't just cannon fodder.
Yeah,
really,
he was, but I mean, he was kind of a bit expanded cannon fodder.
Yeah,
but I liked the intro with the "God Save the Queen" on it. Because I mean, it makes sense because he'd be saying "God Save the Ice Queen" because it's now said. Yeah,
both senses of the word.
Yeah, it works, I think. But yeah, I mean, we saw Queen Victoria from Tooth and Claw, which was cool. But yeah, overall, really strong acting. I'd say the one problem is Bill wasn't really needed.
No.
And I mean,
it shouldn't have to be needed for every episode.
Admittedly, the bit where. The Ice Queen just randomly called on Bill because she was enough a female, felt a bit shoehorned. Oh damn, Bill hasn't done anything for a while. Hey, you're a female.
Having a villain as a female. It makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved that moment where the Empress was on the bed and he was taking off, he got a green rupee. He got a blue rupee worth 5 in Hyrule. But yeah, I loved it how the gold was peeling off her as she was waking up. really
Yeah.
awesome shot, and I really love
Yeah.
the kind of how large the cast was as well. There's a really
What?
nice far out shot where there's like at least like 15 pointing their muskets.
Hmm. One thing I was slightly disappointed about was that because they had the whole Ice Warriors tomb thing, and they were slowly releasing. The first time you see the Ice Warriors released from there, they just kind of walked down some steps and said,
Yeah,
but the other ones still take time to wake up," and it's like
I was
that kind of
waiting.
made me think of
Yeah,
that made me think of a PS2 era video game where they're like you're sending in enemies, and it's like, oh, but the other ones are still asleep, so we just send who we got now, and the other ones will all wake up all together. And then the second thing which was disappointing was the fact that we didn't actually see them getting out of the tombs. It just sort of
yeah. I like the shot where it showed them all, but I really wanted to see some melting ice. Just melting around them and them coming out. I thought that would be cool.
yeah, no, that would have been
But
really neat. Like,
yeah, I love the overall design, and I liked. Was it God Scare or Catchlow? I think it was Catchlow. But yeah, I loved it. I really liked it. I really liked the setup. It really felt like a classic episode to me.
mm,
I loved the when Friday kind of first appeared. Like you saw his shadow first, and he came out and he started, charging towards the Doctor. I loved that. Really
mm,
loved it. Like where he could like first we heard the little like alien kind of growl thing, and then
mm.
yeah, a bit disappointed they didn't extend the S's on any lines. Um, I think they need to return to that a tiny bit.
Mm.
But I liked how Friday was a good Ice Warrior. I liked that. I
Well, no,
liked.
I mean, none of the Ice Warriors were. Like, generally speaking, the Ice Warriors aren't really bad. That's what
That,
makes it so
yeah,
interesting. They're honourable and usually fight with purpose.
yeah,
But that purpose is usually makes like sense from their perspective as kind of something more. They're always kind of a bit more honourable and a bit more, with the possible exception of Monster of Peladon. But
yeah.
they usually have a reason for fighting, and actually perhaps Seeds of. Never
See,
mind. But usually they are honourable and a bit more. It's always what makes them interesting and not inherently bad.
yeah, and I felt the reason why, you know, those Victorians were on the planet made sense. They were going after riches. It made sense.
Yeah.
I loved the line where Bill was like, "I'll excuse your Victorian, mindset because, well, you are Victorian."
Mm,
I love
yeah.
that.
I think there was a I think one thing that was kind of a bit strange about that was that I think as someone from that era they might have been a bit more perhaps suspect about the whole thing. Yeah, they were a little too
Well, I guess they'd already
yes
been
with
there a
Friday.
while.
But
They'd been there a
yeah, yeah.
while.
No,
Um,
I get that. I get
but yeah,
that.
I loved. So the best thing about the episode was the Alpha Centauri cameo. I was so happy when that happened.
I knew you would.
I love the Peladon stories, like absolutely, especially Cursed. And yeah, as soon as I heard that voice, I was like, they did it! They did it! Because originally, Mark Gatiss wanted to write it on Peladon. I was like, yeah, you should have done that. Go to Peladon. It's a great world that they can visit. They should do, definitely.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, and they got the original voice actress back, so I was so happy. I was so
mm,
happy. Like, yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, this is one I'm definitely gonna watch over and over when it comes out on DVD. It's definitely gonna be the one because it doesn't matter like where in the timeline. It's nothing matters really connected to it. Um,
well,
Apart
sort
from the
of.
Missy thing, that's about it.
Yeah, the whole Missy thing.
But it's like one of those adventures where you could
And
just
that was just a way to get Nardole out the story because I hadn't written anything for him.
yeah. I was surprised at how kind of quickly Nardole let her out. But I mean, it's interesting to see the TARDIS acting up. I mean, there's obviously a reason coming up on why that is.
I'm thinking it's probably. I was thinking initially that it's possibly something that Missy did, but
It
well,
could
we'll
be.
see.
It could be. It could be something that Nardole's doing. Maybe there's something wrong with Nardole because it happened before in episode 7, the pyramid at the end of the world. Remember, it started like going weird. But yeah, I like Missy's kind of cameo at the end, and yeah, I really like the theme. Her theme, it worked the best at this point. Like that kind of weird kind of singing bit. It just, I know, it really worked there. I was like,
Hmm.
ooh, really, it really added to that scene, and just the way she stared at the Doctor, and then when she just stood opposite him and looked, I really felt a Delgado kind of thing. I really, there was something there.
Yeah, I think right at the end, Michelle Gomez has really just kind of got it now.
Yeah, well, it's funny enough. It's every time Moffat hasn't written her.
That's true. That's true. Well, I think Moffat has his own idea of what Missy should be, and then a lot of the other writers write more as if it was the Master,
Master, yeah,
which I think it works considerably better
yeah,
from
but
my perspective.
yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, really,
Actually,
really did enjoy
just to
this
take this
story.
back a bit, I really want to point out one section I really enjoyed, which is just the moments where they're just kind of digging out the ground, and just the shots of them
Oh
like close
yeah,
up, just
that was
pulling
lovely,
themselves out. Yeah,
and I
that was a
really
great.
love the moment where they're trapped in the cell, and then it comes up, and then it's only later revealed to be Friday.
Well, no, you notice because when you get out, you notice the crack in the eye. That's a
Yeah,
distinctive feature of Friday, like the eye and how it's kind of broken.
yeah,
So I knew quite immediately. Oh yeah, it's Friday.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It was just
And actually,
solid.
just to touch to the ending bit, like the whole arc with the general and the power struggle there, like
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was.
really great, interesting stuff. Yeah, to be honest, like it sort of does actually kind of fit in with drama of the time, I guess. More kind of Victorian kind of. It fits with a lot of like drama made about that period of history, like the
Yeah,
power struggle between the generals, and
yeah.
So
One
they
two
kind of
power.
simultaneously made it feel very Ice Warrior sci-fi and more Victorian literature, which I felt was a really interesting and nice blend, actually, in a lot of
Yeah,
places.
I really have to say that this is has got to be his best story. I
I
mean,
just need to think about that,
Night
but
Terrors is pretty solid, and Unquite Dead is pretty solid, and Cold War is pretty solid. But this is definitely probably in my top three, if not my favorite. Because I mean, I really like Cold War, but I just like more Ice Warriors, and that it was set on Mars. I think.
yeah, I mean, I'd need to think about that because I also really love the whole claustrophobic aspect of
Yeah,
Cold
Cold
War,
War.
where like
Yeah,
you're trapped on this ship, the submarine, like around everything's kind of dark, and around every corner the Ice Warrior could be there. It's
yeah,
powerful, pretty unstoppable, and it's. I need to think about that one. I'd probably need to watch both episodes again to really think about that. But
yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that they haven't forgotten about them because I was gutted that they didn't appear in series 8 or 9. I was like, you literally brought them back. Like, don't bring them back and then don't use them again, you
mm,
know? Like when they brought back the Macra for, a little cameo, or even the Autons, though I'd argue that the Autons probably deserve another crack of a whip.
they do, they
Ice
do.
Warriors are like
Macra's understandable though. In
Ice Warriors,
fairness,
I'd say, are number 4 in the classic era, really.
yeah.
If you count Davros with the Daleks, all the
I think
Cybermen, and the
I,
Master, then, like, it's kind of joint. Oh, the Cybermen, yeah. But I'd say, like, the Ice Warriors were joint with the Zygons and the Yeti. And Silurians, really. They're like that third tier, you know?
mm,
And, like, they haven't been overused. So, a cool Ice
yeah, that's
Warrior.
because they took like a 30-year break or longer.
Yeah.
Like
And, I just think that they could, use a good two-parter set in snow. Actually have them in the
set in
ice.
snow, or set in Mars in its heyday, or they set. There's a lot of things you could do with the Ice Warriors. Again, like it just feels so weird that there's just like so limited stories for such an iconic monster, like comparatively to
Yeah,
everything
but I mean,
else.
now that they've had Alpha Centauri, it means that they could go to Peladon. So I'm pretty
I
happy with
mean,
that.
possibly. I don't know.
Well, it
I don't know
depends
if they
what
will or
Chris Chibnall
not.
wants. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the Peloton stories, I'd say, yeah, this was definitely a nice like inclusion here, but I wouldn't say it was the necessarily the biggest like in terms of popularity wise, necessarily the most like requested thing to return or anything, Paladin or anything.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, I definitely say the Yeti over Paladin, but I would very much like a story one day to return to Paladin. But yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, what did you think about the square gun majig?
It was interesting.
I think they bounced a little too much and it became a bit comical. I think if they just like crumbled a bit more slowly, like kind of like they were slowly being squashed, and then just like kind of stuck on the ground instead of like flying like footballs.
It's pretty unique. Though it's a bit strange how they kind of, considering where this is in continuity, how come they completely changed the gun later?
Well, maybe it's more effective
with
later
the
on.
Kind of wobbly, bubbly effect that they have, like in the other stories.
They use sonic sound, so maybe I know that they're. Because I'd say what they use later on is actually more impressive because it kills them quicker. It doesn't have to crumble them.
It just disappears, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what did you guys think? Comment below. I mean, I really liked it. Do you want the Ice Warriors to return? I do, definitely.
Yeah, of course, as much as possible.
I mean, on a side note, Russell T Davies apparently knows who the next Doctor is, which is interesting stuff. And when Moffat was talking about Blink, because it was 10 years the other day since that one went, he was just going off to the read-through of the Christmas special, which means it's going to be filmed pretty soonish, which really means that the new Doctor's going to be cast very, very soon.
It's probably already been. It's already been cast.
He's being cast, but I mean, he has to have been cast to be able to do the changeover bit. Because I mean, the problem is with Time of the Doctor, it's obvious that Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith were not on, in the TARDIS on the same day. Hence why they didn't do the face morph. That is it. That is why they didn't do a face morph.
Were David Tennant and Matt Smith though?
Yeah, they were. There's an entire special feature where they do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on the same day, but they definitely weren't. Hence why. I mean, I think Jenna Coleman's hair looks a bit different when Capaldi appears. So it's obviously,
it's the regeneration energy. Kind of blew her hair into different
they try to recreate it, but hey ho. But so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they're definitely saying it's going to be a different kind of Christmas special, which is exciting. But I doubt we'll get any footage in anytime soon. I think the soonest we'll get it is November.
I don't know. I think we might. If they're filming soon, we might get a small teaser at the end of the season.
I think it will be a specifically written scene for the end of The Doctor Falls, which then leads into the Christmas special. Like how Santa Claus was in Death in Heaven.
Something like that.
So that's kind of it. Next week, Rona Munro comes back. That's cool.
Yeah.
But so we'll see you next week for our first thoughts on the Eaters of Light, which looks like an interesting kind of final. I'm kind of glad we've had these kind of looks like two fun stories before the hard-hitting finale. I think that's quite good, really, to have it like that. Just give Peter some range, some fun before he, kind of goes out. Because I mean, it's kind of obvious that he's gonna die in the finale. Like the thing that's gonna kill him is gonna kill him here, and then I'm pretty sure that he's gonna be dying throughout the Christmas special.
Possibly.
Like having to hold on to his life and just do this one last thing before.
Like David Tennant Zen, but like expanded.
Yeah, but a bit more heroic. Instead of just going, bye everyone, bye.
I know, he did some heroic things. He
he did a few things.
Saved Mickey and Martha from a Sontaran.
Let's hope it's
Dave Donald's lottery money.
A bit bigger. Let's think out the box here. But yeah,
as a
I
settler.
don't see Moffat doing any sort of goodbye like Russell T Davies did. I think it'll basically be like, bye, and then just be gone. I'd love if he had a cameo. But yeah. So thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Boy.